let's move on to some Winnipeg Blue Bombers and CFL talk. We've been having some great conversations about offensive starters, secondary, linebackers, defensive line. So let's get to the trenches here. My favorite position to always look at, the greatest offensive line in Bomber history. And we're going by position here. We're taking tackles, we're taking guards, and we're taking a center. So let's start with the tackles. I'm assuming we have the same ones here. I'm assuming because the two I have are probably the two greatest linemen in CFL history. It's debatable, but hey, they're in that debate.
Well, I know we'll have one for sure. Well, I'm assuming the other one as well, but we'll see, I guess.
Who you got?
Tell me who you have first.
I got Chris Walby, 63 Walby for sure. Hometown, played it's like 16 years. That dude has like the consecutive game streak behind, I think it was at Cameron and Westwood. On offensive line. And the most challenging. And I got Stanley Bryant.
Okay. Yeah. Same. Yeah. I mean, there are no brainers. Like even especially Walby. It's like, okay, as soon as he sent me this, I'm like, okay, Walby first. Like no question. He's there. 3 Grey Cups. How many awards did he win? CFL Hall of Fame, Bomber Hall of Ring of Honor, all that stuff, right? Absolutely. And same Stanley Bryant. He's just been a wall there for the last how many years now has he been here? 5, maybe less.
6 years.
Yeah, and he's just been a wall there at left tackle, right? Just huge guy, great player. So yeah, easy to pick the 2 tackles.
Honorable mention goes to Frank Rigney, back in the glory days. Such a consistent tackle, like championships with Bud Grant, and also Dave Mudge.
Yeah, it's funny. They did have a lot of great tackles. They had some really good ones, and it's hard to stack up to these two with Walby and Stanley Bryant, but they still had some good ones.
Like, that's crazy that Bombers have 2 of possibly the greatest offensive linemen in CFL history.
Yeah.
Like, it's a small league. Everyone should share in that, but sorry. Let's look at what?
No, yeah. I mean, it's totally true.
I thought
they were dominant, man.
I thought you were rubbing your hands. You had something to say.
Let's
move on to guards. Guards will be interesting because guards are like unheralded.
Yeah,
they're getting the dirty work done. Same as a center. We'll get that in a second. But there's only one center. But 2 guards here. Give me one of your guards that you got.
This is where I found it a little bit harder to find. And it's a CFL, so it's hard to like. I don't remember who played what position along the line for the most part, right? I mean, there's certain guys, Walby, Stanley Bryant. I know where they are. Guard, it struggled a little bit to kind of figure it out. So I ended up going with one of them as Brent McNeil. Just his tenacity and nastiness on that O-line. He fit in that spot. I just remember him very well from that. And he wasn't on a lot of, he was on the 2001 team, obviously, but there was some lean years with him too. But he was always stepping up and playing hard. So I went with him as my left guard, I guess. I'm not sure if he was left or right. I couldn't really find out for sure.
I got you on. Like, I didn't take Brent McNeil, but I remember my dad and I used to go to games, and that guy was a terror on the field. And he had that long hair, and it was wet, and he looked like the Undertaker. He looked like the Undertaker. I'm like, boom, that guy's gonna take someone out. So yeah, that's a good one. I did not pick him. The guard I picked, one of them is Nick Mastaya. He was just like,
and I totally forgot about him. Yeah,
he was a constant on the Bombers line, 2-time CFL All-Star, divisional All-Star, and he was also CFL Lineman of the Year in '85. That is hard to do when you're a guard to get that recognition. So he didn't start his career in Winnipeg, but his best years were in Winnipeg, 80 to 88. He got a couple of championships in there, so I'm gonna give Nick Mastaya one of them. Who do you got?
And that was a tough thing. Like I totally forgot about him, kind of thing, and finding other ones. So I went with, and I'm hopefully I say his last name right here, Robert Mole or Mole, Molle.
Bob Mole.
Bob Mole. There it is.
The wrestler.
I went with him as my other guard again. And like you say, right, guards, they don't usually get a lot of credit or a lot of awards and stuff like that. And he didn't have a lot of that either, but he was a steady force on that O-line for the Bombers as well. He's in the Bomber Hall of Fame. So I picked him as my guard, my other guard.
Good. He's really good. And that's the thing with guard. Like Nick Mastaya, he should be in the CFL Hall of Fame. Like he's multiple championships as guard. He won CFL Lineman of the Year as a guard.
Yeah,
put him in the CFL Hall of Fame. What's wrong with you? My other one is one that's less known. I went deep into the archives for this, and the dude's name is Les Lear. I did not see him play. This dude, he was born in North Dakota, but was raised in Winnipeg. Played in 5 Grey Cups, won 2 of them in 39 and 41. Then he went to the war, and then he came back, and then he played in the NFL. He was the first ever Canadian-trained football player to play in the NFL. And then he went on to coach on the staff when Calgary went undefeated and won the Grey Cup. So I didn't see him play, but on that resume alone, he's going to go on my list. I'm going to take Les Lear. And center. Who
do you got for center?
It's my turn for center?
Yeah.
I gotta go with John Bonk. I gotta go with John Bonk. The guy wore 43 as a center. He's a CFL Hall of Famer. All of these guys are CFL Hall of Famers, or possibly Stanley Bryant will be. And of course, like I said, Nick Bastaya should be. But John Bonk came into the league as a linebacker.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
And then left as a CFL Hall of Famer center, Cal Murphy. So John Bonk I got.
Yeah, I got John Bonk as well. Had 4-time CFL All-Star, 4-time Divisional All-Star, most outstanding offensive lineman in '84, and just other accolades from the Bombers as well. So I went with John Bonk as well.
And I'm going to give a shout out to Lau Bauer.
Yeah,
he's a great center, but he's also should be known as taking the Bombers out of the dark times financially and just as fan wise. We lived through it. That was a dark time to be a Bomber fan. Yeah, I know. But he came back with a plan and he brought him out, so much so that Calgary hired him afterwards. And of course, he started the Never Alone Foundation. So shout out to Lyle Bauer as well.
Yeah.
Whew, man, good memories with those offensive linemen.
Yeah. And hey, drop us a comment, give us your 5 O linemen as well. There's some guys obviously that we haven't seen play. Maybe there's some guys that you guys have seen play.
Yeah.
Let us know who we're missing.
And Jamarcus Hardrick's going to be on that list in a couple of years or so. He has a great career so far.
But the thing is, he's playing the same position as Walby. So it's like,
he's the opposite side.
What?
So, yeah.
Isn't Hardrick right tackle?
Stanley Bryant is with Chris Walby, and Hardrick is with Miles Gurrell.
Oh, okay. Right.
That's who he's fighting. Miles Gurrell was great too. The bookends, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
We've been so lucky with offensive linemen in Winnipeg. Hey, friends and neighbors, don't forget to check us out online on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Ray Benny Sports. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you think.